Hey guys, I hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to take a look at systems of inequalities. But before we do that, I want to go back and review a couple of key points. So in the past, we have talked about linear equations and we've talked about linear inequalities. So let's look at how we can find solutions in these situations. So for example, let's say we have the linear equation y equals 2/3 x plus 2. When we graph that, your line will look like this. And the solutions to this equation are all of the lines that are on, all of the points that are on this line. Then when we talked about linear inequalities, we actually started shading. So let's look at two types of inequalities. Let's say we had y is less than or equal to 2/3 x plus 2. So on the graph, you're going to have this same line, except now, because it's an inequality, you're going to shade that in. So what that means in this situation is that all of the points in the shaded area are solutions, or they make that inequality true. But because it's a solid line, the points on the line also make the inequality true. And now let's look at one more example. So let's look at y is less than 2/3 x plus 2. So let's sketch that graph. So we're going to have the same line, except because it's only less than, you're going to have a dotted line. And you're going to shade. And if you'll remember, we did test points to decide where to shade. I'm not going through all that again, but just a reminder. So in this situation, every single point that's in the shaded area will make that inequality true, but not on the line, because it says y is less than 2/3 x plus 2. So now let's take a look at how we can apply this to systems of inequalities. So our goal for today's work is to be able to identify solutions or points that are solutions to these systems. So what we're going to do is use our graphic calculator. So if you will, let's go ahead and open Desmos, get that prepared. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is, I notice, don't worry about the graphs, you don't have to jot that down, but I do want you to write the system that they give you. So for number one, I want you to write the system, and then we'll write each of the 3 points. So make sure you jot that down. So first I'm going to graph the system. The first inequality in the system is y is less than 2x plus 2. So I notice that there's a dotted line, and I also notice that it's shaded red. So now let's add our second inequality. So I have y is greater than or equal to negative x minus 3. So what do you notice? That was shaded blue, but then there's a purple section where the two meet. That is your solution to a system. So let's jot that down in our notes. The region where the two, and remember it can be more, but today we're just looking at 2. The region where the 2 shades meet represents all the solutions to the system. So the shaded part, and if you have a solid line, remember that is part of the solution as well. So again, the region where the 2 shades meet represents all the solutions to the system. So now let's test each of these 3 points. So the first point is 0, 0. So I'll find 0, 0, and that falls in that purple section where the 2 shades meet. So yes, that is a solution to the system. So I'm just going to write I want you to write the point and write the word yes. Now let's look at 4, negative 3. So over 4, down 3. Yes, that is also in the shaded region, the double shaded region. So negative 4, 3. What that means is if I plug 4 in for both of the x's and negative 3 into both of the y's, both of those inequalities will be true. Okay, that's why we even look at these points, find these points. And lastly, let's test negative 2, 3. So that means back 2, up 3. And when I find that point, I notice it's only in the blue shade. So it isn't in the double shaded area. So I want you to write negative 2, 3 and the word no. It is not a solution to the system of inequalities. So now let's do the same thing with our second system. And again, all I want you to do is write down the system of inequalities and your 3 points. That's what I expect to see in your notes. So let's graph this system. So the first one is y is less than or equal to 1/2 x. So that's shaded in green. And I notice there's a solid line, and that makes sense because it's less than or equal to. And then I've got x plus y is less than negative 4. So that has a dotted line, and that's shaded purple, but I notice that the double shaded region is a darker purple. So that and the solid line represents our solutions. Okay, so let's test these. 0, negative 4. So 0, down 4. Now that's on the line, but it's a dotted line. So that is not a part of your solution. So 0, negative 4, is a no. That's not part of the solution. Now let's test negative 3, negative 6. Start at the origin, back 3, down 6. Yep, that's in the double shaded region. So negative 3, negative 6, yes, is a part of the solution. And I think it was negative 5, 0. So back 5, don't go up or down any. Well, that's only in the light purple. So no, that's not in the double shaded region. That's not a part of the solution. So that's what you're going to be asked to do. That's how you find the solution to a system of linear inequalities. Take a look at number 3. It says use the system of inequalities shown to answer A and B. Well, it says to list 3 ordered pairs that are solutions. So let's do these in 2 different colors. Let's do pink. 3 ordered pairs that are solutions. And then it asked to list 3 ordered pairs that are not solutions. So let's do the are solutions first. So I want to find my double shaded region. So it looks to me like I've got, let me get my highlighter here. So here we have this shaded underneath the 1 line. And then we have the left side shaded here. So this right here, this part right here, let me do a darker green, that didn't show up very well. All of the points here are my solution, or part of my solution. So all I want you to do is just pick points that are either on the solid line or in the double shaded region. So, and as long as they're there, they're going to be correct. So I like this one. I like this one. I'm just picking at random. And I'm going to do this one. So the first one I chose was 0, 6. Please remember, I expect to see your parentheses and the comma, proper notation. The next point I chose was negative 4, 2. And the last point I chose was negative 8, negative 2. Now let's take a look at some that are not solutions to the system. Well, I'm going to pick one that's on the dotted line. because anything that is on the dotted line is not a part of the solution. Anything that's in just one of the shaded areas, a single shaded area, those aren't solutions. Pick any three. The ones that I chose were -4, -6, -4, -6. I chose 8, 0, and I chose -4, 10. Back 4 from the origin, up 10. So just remember, solutions to linear systems of linear inequalities are in the double shaded regions or on solid lines of the double shaded region, and they are not in the single shaded, not shaded, or the dotted lines. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later.